If you can get humor and seriousness at the same time, you've created a special little thing, and that's what I'm looking for, because if you get pompous, you lose everything. Often, when you see yourself on the screen, you feel like a sweater that's been put through the washing machine. You have the impression of having done something full and luminous, and suddenly, when you see it on the screen, it's turned back into a tiny little thing. I run a bunch of charities and I say this line to people: I am somebody who has always been helped. A little thing like that can make people believe it. Don't make anybody a homemade gift, unless you're really good, or it's going to be really practical. If it's a little thing you think is cute 'cause you made it, just forget it. You are a saucy little thing, aren't you? I used to worry about every little thing, trying to figure out every problem. Well, I realize now how foolish that was. I was no more in control of my life than the man on the moon. I am not that attached to material things, and the good thing is I can make choices. I have very few possessions. Luckily, as a man you don't need much. A few papers, a couple of books, and a few shirts, jackets, sweaters. It fits in a little thing, in a paper bag, so it's very easy. I find solace in animals. I have got a stray dog at home called Candy. I picked it up while I was waiting at the airport one day. I always wanted to have a macho dog but got this sweet little thing instead. A little thing, like children putting flowers in my hair, can fill up the widening cracks in my self-assurance like soothing lanolin. We all have those days when you feel like you're against the world, every little thing goes wrong and your blood pressure is up, and you feel like punching somebody. Every little thing that people know about you as a person impedes your ability to achieve that kind of terrific suspension of disbelief that happens when an audience goes with an actor and character he's playing. I do a little thing about the way people shake the sweetener packet. You know, like they're all excited. I want to get all the granules down to one end. I love all these rituals. Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, all the rappers, they're doing my dances and they're making billions doing my dances. When they do that little thing they do with their hands, that's the fly and the pony. I'm stuck somewhere, a small island in the middle of the Atlantic where I'm alone. Because in France, they're like, no, you're not like us, you're not a French guy. And in America, they're like, you're not like us. I'm really alone in my little thing. Never be afraid to ask when you don't understand. It sounds like a little thing, but awful things have happened, international incidents have flared. And markets have collapsed just because people couldn't make sense of what was being said. They didn't ask why, because they thought it would make them look stupid. Do you think it is only a little thing to possess a house from which lovely things can be seen? I overheard things in the Woolworths when I was a child, people saying, "Oh, poor little thing," as if they had some understanding that I was being born biracial into a world that was still very difficult for interracial marriages and biracial children. It's the off-the-court spotlight in terms of having people look at you in terms of analyzing every little thing you do in your life, or having less privacy in your day-to-day activities. That's an area I need to get more accustomed to. I probably wouldn't do anything differently if I had to do it again. Every little thing that happens to you, good and bad, becomes a little piece of the puzzle of who you become. Every successful person you read about, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they all say pretty much the same thing. Do what you love. I know I did. It doesn't matter how your child comes to you. I've never felt such joy and such love. It's the most beautiful, delicious little thing. There's something special in music about the repetition of playing something where it becomes a home and a fortress and a space that you inhabit, like maybe we could move this little thing here, or rearrange the furniture. You're so acquainted with every part of it. This is a marathon in life. You can't be sprinting all the time or else you wear yourself out. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself, keeping yourself grounded and not letting every little thing get you worked up. So much tension around here in New York. They want to fine you for every little thing you do. Politicians are actors, too, don't you think? Usually, if you like people and you're outgoing, not a shy little thing, you can do pretty well in politics. I've got a 1990 Porsche 911. It's just a Carrera, a very simple, straightforward little thing that goes like stink. I love it. I always say that you don't have to like the room, but you will discover something, maybe a tiny little thing, and say, wait a minute, maybe I want to see more. We need to understand that we are not each other's enemies in this country, and it is only the political class that derives its power by creating friction. It is only the media that derives its importance by creating friction, that uses every little thing to create this chasm between people. This is not who we are. They did that little thing on South Park, and they mentioned my name and had a character of me judging a Halloween contest. It was really funny. That made me the coolest ant on earth. My live sound does not work in the studio, which is a completely different animal. Every little thing is detrimental to the sound. And if someone moves a mic, you've lost it. It's pretty much a case of lock the door and set up a police line. To me, it was shocking that a government of men could look with such extreme contempt on a movement that was asking nothing except such a simple little thing as the right to vote. Each minute is a little thing, and yet, with respect to our personal productivity, to manage the minute is the secret of success. We have gone through some difficult times like everyone else and perhaps are working together and respecting each other's abilities, in addition to that little thing called love, helped us survive. If there is something to worry about, my mind has a tendency to worry about it. That can cut two ways. It can really keep you on the ball, but if you worry about every little thing, it's not a good use of time and energy. Have confidence that if you have done a little thing well, you can do a bigger thing well too. The art world is a very prissy little thing over in the corner, while the major cultural forces are being determined by techno-science. Getting older, I realize I've had a very fortunate life. I've had a budget that's allowed me to do just about any silly little thing the mind could conjure up, and I'm still alive and here. Every little thing counts in a crisis. I'm not one of those girls who can think, right, I'll put a scarf with that and a little brooch there and maybe a vintage jacket. I'm so impressed with girls who look terrific in a little thing they picked up at the local charity shop. I just look scruffy when I try to do vintage. I definitely like the oddballs. There's a song called Little Thing, which is the only song that I have recorded that has no words, and it's the one that I get past my critic inside me. It puts you in a kind of a strange situation where everybody is looking at every little thing you do. It's really weird when people scrutinize every little thing about you and talk about your outfits and your weight and who you're dating, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm not claiming that football is the nation's salvation in this area, but it's one of them, one little thing that apparently has captured the imagination of a large sector of our society. But when football can't be a relatively pure outlet, a fun thing, then it hurts itself. It's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. My little thing is planting trees. I have tennis shoes with little rhinestones that I slip on if I exercise, but I always wear heels, even around the house. I'm such a short little thing, I can't reach my kitchen cabinets. Apart from anything else, I am designed by evolution, like we all are. If we see a little thing like that, big eyes, tiny nose, we go, ah. That's what evolution does. We are programmed to do that. So to find babies the most amazing, isn't surprising, I don't think. The heel is engineering in itself. This little thing that supports the human weight has to have a precise balance. I just meant as far as coming to the games on time. It was just like I was under the microscope, every little thing, it was like they were looking for me to come in here with my shoes untied. We all have our own little thing, I think. I was a philosophy major as an undergraduate, and I'm just an arrogant little thing. It's hard for me to admit that I can't understand something, let alone not be in charge of it. My life has completely changed. Overnight it changed with every little thing. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.